Welcome back. The Miss South Dakota organization has been providing scholarships to young women for over 75 years. And just last month, a brand new Miss South Dakota was crowned. Joining me today is Miranda O'Bryan, the 2023 Miss South Dakota. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us. Go ahead and just kind of talk about the competition and what Miss South Dakota is.
Absolutely. So Miss South Dakota is part of the Miss America opportunity. So I'm the state representative. I'll get to go to Miss America at some point in early 2024, and I will represent our state, show people, you know, the great state that is South Dakota. But being Miss South Dakota means so many things. I am taking this entire year just to serve my state, to volunteer, to give back, to work on what we call a community service initiative, and to just be visible across the state so that more people learn about our organization, because we really focus on scholarship and personal and professional development.
And so you just mentioned it there, that community service initiative. And so every member that takes part in this is going to come up with their own. Let's take a moment. Let's talk about yours and what it is.
Yeah, so every woman who competes has this community service initiative. Mine is called Page Turners Fall in Love with Reading. So it's an initiative to increase literacy rates by creating and sustaining a passion for reading through access, education, and representation. So that's like the mini pitch for it, if you will. But kind of boots on the ground, what that looks like, I've been able to donate more than 10,000 books across the state. We've built little free libraries. I have one of which that's up here in Sioux Falls. I've started a podcast, and I've got to talk with authors from across the state and across the country. So it's just, like I said, it's to increase literacy rates. I believe that it's a foundation for your entire life, and so why not start right here?
That's kind of the what of your community initiative. Tell me the why. What pushed you to something like that?
So that's the beauty of the community service initiative and of the service piece of Miss America, is it's an opportunity for women to know that they have a seat at the table to make a difference in their community and in their state. So when I was provided this opportunity to think, how can I make change? I started with something else. I actually did adoption. There's a personal story behind that one that we sadly don't have time for. But then I got to thinking, what's a little bit broader? What's something that is important to every aspect of your life? And I realized that reading was so hugely important to me, and it is to everyone. And so that's why I really focused on that and have made that my initiative for the last few years, but also my year as Miss South Dakota.
And so you and I were talking just a little bit ago. You worked out in the Black Hills.
Yes.
You went to school here on the east side of the state in Brookings. Talk about how being Miss South Dakota and what you're doing really just showcases the whole state as a whole.
Well, that's the beauty of being Miss South Dakota, is I get to go all across the state. Just in the last month, I was just crowned at the beginning of June. I've already been back and forth several times. And that's the great thing about South Dakota, is we do kind of pop around to all of our small communities, our big communities, and you're visible. You're somebody that can have these conversations about how to build yourself up, not just for young women, but also young boys and everyone. You know, there's an opportunity for anybody to get involved in the Miss America opportunity and be able to build themselves up. And so as Miss South Dakota, I'll get to do that. I'll get to talk to people here in Sioux Falls and in Rapid City, but I'll also get to go to my hometown of Martin. I'll get to go to your hometown of White if I can make it up there. So I'll be able to hit all of those small communities, and I'm really excited for that opportunity.
Real quick here, as a South Dakotan, as you are, as a South Dakotan as I am, we know that South Dakotans root for each other.
Oh yeah.
Through and through. So you got to tell everybody at home, when is the Miss America contest, so they can show their support for you.
Oh my gosh, I wish that I could tell you guys, but I don't have a date just yet. So I know. Hopefully we'll have a date here soon. It's looking like early 2024, so maybe January or February. But as soon as I know, I'll make sure to tell you, Cordell.
Well, I don't know if the tiara is any bigger, but you pull that one off perfectly.
Thank you.
If it upgrades, let's get it.
That would be awesome.
Well, thank you for being with us. We'll be back with one final check of your forecast.